Fam over.
Good, what's good? This your boy Thou, FamOverTV. I appreciate everybody tapping into the channel, showing love, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Even if you're just passing through, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of y'all. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is always advised. Y'all know I gotta say that. Salute to everybody in the building already. JB, ATD, Boss Lady Melissa, Buddha Mike, everybody in here. What's up, y'all? We got a good one today, y'all. We got a good one. We're gonna be looking over some crazy declassified documents and everything, talking about, you know, just living in life and just talking about us and things we can do and powers and our minds and stuff like that that we don't know about, that they've been keeping a secret for a long time. So we're gonna check out some of these declassified documents and it's on popping. Feel me? Salute to everybody. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. This is day 27, feeling good. And it's day 3, no meat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm already seeing the benefits of not eating meat. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, these last few days, not eating no meat, I just been feeling real, real good. Body feeling good. Lost a few pounds, you know what I'm saying? Just, I don't even know how to explain it, y'all, but it's all good, man. Let's get it, though. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Appreciate everybody in here, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's go.
Why is nobody talking about this? This is a declassified CIA document. You can literally find these everywhere by just searching up declassified CIA document. Let me just read you some of the things that it says here. An application has been filed in court here demanding that the Air Force release the remains of the extraterrestrial being or beings it is alleged to be holding in secret custody. Bryant, who also named the Pentagon, the Army, the Attorney General, the CIA, and other national security agencies and officials, implied that some of the aliens who he seeks may still be alive, saying they were being subjected to unwarranted deprivation of their rights to travel. Now, this article was published in 1983, but it wasn't released to the public until 2010. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. Let me know if y'all want some more of these, because there's a lot.
It's so interesting to me how there's so much research out there that just changing your mind can change your entire reality, but so many people choose not to believe it. Like, there's literally declassified CIA documents saying that we live in a 5-dimensional world and that your literal brainwaves change based upon the thoughts you have and the energy you exude. So if you're depressed, anxious, or just overall unhappy, maybe the best thing to do is change your mindset, and your perspective on how you view these situations will change.
From 1953 to 1973, the CIA ran a top-secret program known as Project MKUltra. Its goal was to develop mind control techniques that could be used against enemies. The process first consisted of completely erasing someone's mind, and then having the ability to control their mind. This was done by using illegal experiments, which included the administration of drugs and chemicals, electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and more. In 1973, Project MKUltra was disbanded and the CIA director ordered the destruction of every file involved. Therefore, it's unlikely that we'll ever know the full truth. The darkest chapter in the MKUltra saga probably revolves around the death of Frank Olson, a scientist who was involved in the highest levels of the program. It's been reported that Olson witnessed multiple torture sessions in international CIA safe houses where people were interrogated to death. Eventually, Olson expressed grievances with the project. Then, during a CIA retreat, Olson fell to his death from the 10th floor of his hotel room.
Damn.
At first, the death was ruled a suicide. But as the years went on, more evidence was released showing that Olson was likely murdered. Olson's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit, and the government paid them a settlement worth about $3.8 million in today's dollars. The family also received a personal apology from President Gerald Ford.
What if I told you that?
Man. They do. Hey, and then documents that we looking at today, you know what I'm saying, all the declassified stuff we looking at today, it's just a small portion of what's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch out there that'll blow your mind, man. Like they said that, like, it's the CIA talking, you know, this the CIA, they, you know, they basically, you know, over everything. Y'all know how they are. Shit, they running things, but they saying like the power, like we don't know though. Like a lot of this stuff that's been hidden from us our whole life, they didn't release in some of these documents and everything. But people don't even, you know, people probably still think, oh, it's fake. Ain't nobody, you know, whatever. But let's keep it going. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It's crazy.
That the CIA, using nothing but the human mind, has already ventured on an interplanetary voyage to both Mars and Jupiter all the way back in 1978, only 9 years after we allegedly landed on the moon with the help of our good friend Stanley Kubrick. But this isn't just a rejected sci-fi movie script or the musings of a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist either. This is something called remote viewing, and it's the practice that claims to involve the ability to travel through time and space using only the human mind, with the goal of gathering information from distant or unseen targets and locations. And this process involves something called extrasensory perception, or ESP for short. Think of it as Google Maps, except the satellite is your brain. It's like if astral projection went to a super expensive and private espionage school and we taxpayers paid for it. So this top secret program was called the Stargate Project, and it was funded by the US Army and later run by the CIA and the Defense Intelligence Agency as a psychic spy program. This methodology, known as remote viewing, usually involves two people, a viewer and a controller. The viewer attempts to describe a location, an object, or an event that is either in the past, the present, or the future, which is often located far away from the physical location where the experiment is being conducted. And these descriptions are usually generated through impressions, mental images, or a series of perceptions that the viewer reports on, basing on the prompts that they were given by the controller. And the most commonly used method was called coordinate remote viewing, or CRV for short, which was when the controller provided specific geographical coordinates and asked the viewer to describe what they saw in said location. In 1984, an unidentified test subject was given a specific set of coordinates that took them all the way to Mars. And this viewer is quoted describing the landscape of Mars as we know it today with such a bone-chilling accuracy several years before NASA even landed its first Mars rover. The viewer also described several pyramids and strange megalithic structures, a species of very tall and thin beings dressed in strange clothing who were taking refuge and hibernating, these are his words, hibernating inside of one of those pyramids. The viewer was asked by the controller to interact with these beings, and the beings told him that they were in the process of becoming extinct, and that a group of their leaders had ventured out on a journey through space in hopes of finding another planet that they can live on, with the hope of escaping Mars and the impending catastrophic storm that was destroying their home planet. So my question is, who were these beings? Were they giants? Were they the Anunnaki? Were they our distant relatives? Were they the ones responsible for spreading and scattering all the pyramids that we find today in Egypt, China, all around the world? Are they us in an alternative timeline in a parallel universe? If you want to see the evidence for yourself, you are more than welcome to access the official website of the CIA, where all of these declassified documents are located. And they only became available in 1995 thanks to something called the Freedom of Information Act, which was established in 1967, which granted U.S. citizens greater insight into the inner workings of our own government. Up until that point, everything was kept on the down low. The U.S. government's interest in remote viewing and psychic phenomena dates all the way back to the Cold War era, where it was used as part of a larger program aimed at investigating psychic phenomena as potential forms of intelligence gathering and military advantage. So things like locating hostages or missing personnel, describing foreign facilities and technologies, forecasting potential future events of military importance, whatever that means, gathering intelligence on enemy activities, discovering the secrets of the universe. Comment below what you think.
Man, did y'all hear that? The CIA said they've been doing it too, y'all. And like Fam said in the chat, they only release stuff like every what, 50, 30 years or something, whatever, they get to releasing some stuff. Like all the stuff they doing right now, what is it, 2024? They probably ain't gonna release none of this shit till 2050. And then they'd be like, yeah, back in 2024, this is what we was doing to everybody. But that's crazy. Remote viewing, all right here, all with our mind. Like, our mind is so powerful. But like I said, we've been conditioned and trained our whole life. We don't know. At least I don't know. You feel me? I don't know. But I want to tap into some of this shit. I want to be able to remote view and go places and see shit. Is that like astral projection? Is that remote viewing something like astral projection or something? Or I don't know. But if y'all want to check out some of these declassified documents and everything, y'all can go to the CIA, the website, like go back, see, and pause it and go back, go to that website, and you can go down a rabbit hole yourself and read all these damn documents and go crazy if you want to. I was like, man, I can't. It's too much. It's so much, y'all. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Recently declassified Operation Northwoods documents, kept top secret for 40 years, outline a U.S. government plot to kill hundreds, probably thousands, of American citizens for political gain. In 1962, President JFK's Joint Chief of Staff, General L.L. Lemnitzer, masterminded the Northwoods Plan in order to start a war with Cuba. The American people certainly did not want a war, and neither did Castro, so a series of false flag operations were designed to cause a, quote, helpful wave of indignation and get people behind a war.
Oh, we know they be doing this type of stuff. They still do that to this day. That's basically COINTELPRO and shit. They'll put somebody in. They do that shit right here on YouTube too. They'll send somebody in and act like make some shit happen. And like you be like, man, no, we don't want no war. Then they'll send some intruders in, infiltrators, and act like they did some bullshit on your behalf, and you don't even know these motherfuckers, and then boom, you in the middle of some mess. You don't know what happened, but they've been doing this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. Entertainment purposes only. I know the CIA, they gonna be mad as hell about this live right here, this stream, but hey, entertainment purposes only, man. Let's keep it going.
The methods to be employed were many and varied, from starting rumors using clandestine radio to sinking and setting fires to U.S. ships, dressing like Cubans to attack U.S. bases, blowing up ammunition and planes, starting fires and riots, and last but not least, hijacking and shooting down a commercial passenger plane.
Damn.
The document actually says that, quote, casualty lists in U.S. newspapers would cause a helpful wave of indignation. They even plan to, quote, conduct funerals for mock victims to gain added public support if there weren't enough real victims. All this was already approved and signed by every Joint Chief of Staff and the Secretary of Defense when President John F. Kennedy received it.
That's dirty.
Thankfully for us all, JFK refused to sign the Northwoods document, and the plan was never carried out.
What? See, that's why they didn't want JFK in there. He ain't even signed the document. He like, no, we ain't doing this, but I'm pretty sure they still did it. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
But its very existence proves that the government is certainly not always friendly and looking out for our best interests.
Hell no.
Paul Joseph Watson wrote, "It has been officially revealed via declassified government documents that the U.S. military and government has covertly planned to perpetrate acts of terror upon innocent civilians in order to justify an engagement in conflict that would have, at the time, benefited the government's wider geopolitical agenda." According to ABC News, in the early 1960s, America's top military leaders reportedly drafted plans to kill innocent people and commit acts of terrorism in U.S. cities to create public support for a war against Cuba.
Don't that sound familiar, y'all? Don't that sound familiar? Kind of sound like what happened in New York when those towers went down. Yeah, allegedly. Entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it smooth. We got to keep it smooth over here. But yeah, they've been doing this, man. They've been doing this.
Hidden documents uncovered in 2001 by former ABC News investigative reporter James Bamford, codenamed Operation Northwoods, put a haunting perspective behind the events of September 11th. The Joint Chiefs of Staff documents propose launching a secret and violent war of terrorism against their own country in order to condition the people of the USA into supporting an intended war against Cuba.
Damn.
These sickening plans called for innocent American civilians to be shot, for Cuban refugees to be blown up, for violent and continued acts of terrorism to be perpetrated in major American cities, for innocents to be framed for bombings, and for planes to be hijacked.
Wow.
This would then be blamed on Fidel Castro and Cuba, thus inciting hatred for him and communism, and instigating the public backing that the JCS needed as an excuse to launch the pre-planned war.
Damn.
James Bamford wrote, "The plan, which had the written approval of the chairman and every member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, called for innocent people to be shot on American streets, for boats carrying refugees fleeing Cuba to be sunk on the high seas, for a wave of violent terrorism to be launched in Washington, D.C., Miami, and elsewhere. People would be framed for bombings they did not commit. Planes would be hijacked. Using phony evidence, all of it would be blamed on Castro, thus giving Lemnitzer and his cabal the excuse, as well as the public and international backing they need to launch their war." David Icke wrote, "It is no good people claiming their leaders could not have been behind the horrors of 9/11 when the documents exist to show that the Pentagon had planned in detail something very similar 40 years ago."
What? Right. It's documents like showing like this was all a play and everything. And then like we can't even talk about it, y'all. Like I want to say like, man, like, but I can't even like, I can't talk about it too much because y'all know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy though, man. All it is, bottom line, is all for some paper, some money, right? It's all a money play. All this should be a money play. Everybody know Castro. Like they didn't like Castro. They set him up. Everybody know that. Everybody know that. Same thing they did to Saddam, allegedly. Same thing they tried to come with Bin Laden and all this and everything, allegedly. I don't know, man. It's always a play and it's always money. At the bottom line is always about some money. You feel me? But allegedly, entertainment purposes only, man. This shit crazy.
And wait for this. Operation Northwoods also planned the hijacking of civil aircraft. The documents say it was possible to create an incident that would convince the people that the Cuban aircraft had shot down a chartered civil airliner on a flight from the United States to Jamaica, Guatemala, Venezuela, or Panama. In the Northwoods document, it actually refers to the USS Maine false flag pretext to the Spanish-American War. It reads, quote, "A Remember the Maine incident could be arranged in several forms. We could blow up a ship in Guantanamo Bay and blame Cuba, or we could blow up a drone anywhere in Cuban waters. So Northwoods ordered to sink our own ships, like the USS Maine, ordered to hijack and shoot down our own commercial airliners, like 9/11, and to bomb ourselves, like World Trade Center 93, Oklahoma, Madrid, 7/7, and so many others."
Hey, this shit crazy. It's for entertainment purposes only, man. It's all allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I gotta say that. Y'all know I gotta say that because I got to. It's part of the guidelines, you feel me? But this shit crazy. It's like knowing this and knowing that it's documents out and everything, like this is declassified documents saying like this stuff was gonna happen, then it happened and everything. This is like proof that we ain't shit over here. Well, the government, you know what I'm saying? Like our government. we ain't like we've been putting plays on our own people forever. They fucked us up, put us in slavery. Then they start killing they killing everybody, man. They just don't care. You know what I'm saying? This shit crazy. And it's all allegedly. YouTube, so don't be tripping on me and shit. Y'all know I'm on parole, so I gotta be smooth, but man, this shit crazy. I don't even like doing these type of streams because I be getting mad. Like, man, like we should be able to do something. Like, damn, they play right in front of our face, and they got documents and everything, like supporting it. Oh man, this shit crazy.
Book that says all of humanity will soon be wiped out in a global cataclysm. The book is called The Adam and Eve Story. Part 1 and 2 blew my mind and they're up on my profile. What really trips me out is that the events outlined in this book actually gives reasonable explanations to history's greatest mysteries, such as Antarctica, the lost city of Atlantis, the pyramids all around the world, Stonehenge, Easter Island, the forgotten Pacific continent of Mu, the list goes on. And virtually every religion in ancient folklore and history talks of a catastrophe that resets the entire world. Like the famous Noah's Ark, the Hurricane flood of the Mayans, the Sumerians had the flood in Gilgamesh, and all written completely independent of each other and all prophesizing that it will happen again, aka Judgment Day. Same goes for the legends of the pyramids and all these ancient structures all around the world. Each of these cultures have an almost identical story of some greater being coming down and building these monuments for them, despite these ancient civilizations being tens of thousands of kilometers apart and never coming into contact with each other. Not a single one of them actually taking credit for these incredible achievements themselves. I don't know about you, but if I was some great civilization that built something as incredible as the pyramids, I would definitely want to be flexing on everyone about it. But these stories of the pyramids and worldwide floods, remnants of our advanced ancestors, pass on to the Stone Age of the next civilization of humans. And again, the book that outlines these events has been dismissed by everyone as pseudoscience. But as we've seen, especially lately, the difference between pseudoscience and science is usually just time. This book was classified by the CIA up until 2013, so were they trying to hide something from us?
Duh. They've been hiding a lot of shit.
Most disturbing declassified government documents. This picture contains a list of declassified documents from the least disturbing to the most. This is 30%. Every single video I go up, it will get worse and worse, so make sure to like and follow for more videos. Hey guys, I haven't posted in like a month because I got banned, and I just got unbanned, so let's get right back into it. Also, really quick, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Sangria Senorial for being my first sponsor back. Follow them down below and click the link in my bio to purchase one for yourself. All sponsoring aside, it's a genuinely good product. Now back to the video. This is the Acoustic Kitty. This project was launched in the 1960s in order to spy on Russian embassies using a cat. Pretty much the whole purpose of this project was to spy on high-ranking officials. They did a procedure which took about an hour where they implanted a microphone into the ear canal. They attached a small radio transmitter and hid a thin wire in the fur, and bam, you now have an acoustic kitty. This project costed around $20 million. The very first mission was to eavesdrop on two men in the park, so they sent the cat over there, and on the cat's way over there, it was hit and killed by a taxi driver. It was declared a total loss, but it was reported there was some success in the project. It was ultimately canceled in 1967 for not being practical enough, and it was too hard to train a cat. So there is a small chance that your cat at home has a microphone in it. I'm not pointing any fingers, I'm just letting you know. Make sure to...
I don't know how true that story is, but man, he said they put a motherfucking microphone into the ear of a cat. They spent all that money. They're trying to get them to go over there to spy on the Russian officials or whatever they're trying to do. And the cat got ran over by a car. Oh my God. I'm laughing, but it just shows you like they can do anything. Like I heard about they got birds out here flying that be doing surveillance and everything. I don't know how true it is, but it says like birds out here and they got insects that out here that can do like surveillance and listen to shit and all that type of stuff. So I don't know, man. Oh, this is crazy. I know one thing though. Y'all go check out that declassified CIA declassified documents and everything. That site, you gonna come across a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Like, man, what? So we just touching on some on right now. Let's keep it going. We got 123 in here. Y'all do me a favor, everybody. Please hit that like button for me, please. It only take 1 second, you know what I'm saying? 1 second to hit that like button, and it's all love. We back to it.
Like and follow for more videos.
Did you know that it's been 5 years since the deadline has passed for the government to declassify all JFK assassination files, and there are still 16,000 files remaining? After Oliver Stone shed light on the fact that there were thousands of still classified government documents related to the Kennedy assassination in his movie JFK, the JFK Records Act created a deadline for the government to declassify all those documents. If we fast forward to that deadline, October of 2017, President Trump had the opportunity to declassify all of the files, but citing pressure from the CIA and the FBI, he only declassified some of the files.
Nah, y'all know they made my boy Trump do that. He was gonna let all that shit out. I already know Trump let everybody know JFK is finna let us know about the aliens, everything, but he probably got that call like, hey, DT, you better not release that shit, DT. You gonna end up just like him if you release that. You know what I'm saying? And DT was like, you know what? I can't release all of it right now. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? He had to protect himself, y'all. But this shit crazy, y'all. There's too much going on.
Then, last December, President Biden authorized the release of another 1,500 files to add to the 35,000 highly redacted files that President Trump authorized. Biden delayed the release of the remaining 16,000 files until December 15th of this year. Of those remaining documents, 70% are from the CIA and 23% are from the FBI. But with the Cold War over and 58 years passing since the assassination, the question is, what is there to hide? One thing that may speed up the release of the assassination documents is a lawsuit that was just filed by the Mary Farrell Foundation, a nonprofit academic organization dedicated to preserving the research files related to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The lawsuit asked the court to force the government to comply with the JFK Records Act and finally release all of the documents related to the assassination of President Kennedy. In total, there have been 300,000 documents related to the assassination released so far. And hopefully with this lawsuit from the Mary Farrell Foundation, we'll get to see the remaining 16,000 soon.
Man, those 16,000 unreleased documents probably got all the juicy stuff in it. Probably talking about everybody that set him up, talking about the play, how they did it, talking about what he is about to do and how he is about to expose everything. Because they said something about like he was about to say something about the aliens too and all that type of stuff. And then he out of here, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. I see some of my people in here in the chat talking about they want to come over here to America. All my people that's overseas and in other countries and everything, my advice to you, stay where you at. It looked like all the grass is greener over here. It looked like all peaches and cream over here in America. Like, yeah, this supposed to be the land of the free. This ain't the land of the free. We can't even speak how we want to speak on this motherfucker. Nothing. This ain't what you think. You feel me? I'm trying to get over there with y'all. Over here is crazy. You gotta watch out for the government. You gotta watch out for your neighbor. You gotta watch out for these going in the wrong neighborhood, getting your head blown off. Man, it's too much bullshit going on over here. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff going on in other countries too, but not as much as all this deceiving stuff that's going on over here. That shit crazy. Let's keep it going. Appreciate that, JB. Appreciate that. That's super chat.
Podcast drops on November 22nd.
In 2003, a document was declassified by the CIA that may reveal that you have godlike potential. Now, it's early in the morning, but bear with me. So I'm going to go ahead and read what they're proposing. Fundamentally, the gateway experience is a training system designed to enhance coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right hemisphere, so as to alter consciousness moving it outside of the physical sphere, so to ultimately escape even the restrictions of time. So what they're talking about is out-of-body experiences, and what the U.S. government was interested in was how out-of-body experiences could be used in war. So the U.S. military sent several officers over to the Monroe Institute to check its credibility. So what did these officers report back? You tasked me to provide an assessment of the gateway experience in the terms of its mechanics and ultimate practicality. Frankly, sir, that proved to be an extremely involved and difficult business. The physics of altered human consciousness deals with some conceptualizations that are not easily grasped or visualized. Nevertheless, once it's done, I'm confident that their construction and application will stand up to the test of rational critique. It's a pretty interesting read, and some of the experiences that they describe sound like an LSD trip. But does it work? I don't know, and I have to go to work, so let me know what you find out if you research this.
What if I told you could get rid of pain symptoms by repeating a number in your mind? I'm not quite sure you'd believe me, but what if the CIA told you that you could do this? Well, there is a CIA document that's been declassified and it's been circling the internet recently as quite a hot topic. Here's the document. And you can find this from a quick Google search. It's part of the CIA collaboration with the Monroe Institute, which is a separate document that you can find. It's much longer. Again, you can literally Google search it. It's declassified. It makes for a very interesting read, and it talks about all sorts of mind control and astral projection and things that sound very out of this world, but are literally things the CIA have been teaching their agents. It's mind-blowing. But anyway, on this one, this is literally a quick tip that tells you how to remove pain from your experience. And I find this really interesting because if it was seen in any other different source, you know, like if some kind of spiritual person or a yoga instructor or something that we Westerners class much more as sort of woohoo, Eastern, hippie, and not very real. I'm not one of those people, by the way. I very much am into all of these things, but I know it's very common for a lot of us to be very skeptical about things that aren't literally just being told by a doctor or fits very much into our understanding of science and Western medical practice. We have our guards up. We don't listen to it really. A lot of us don't. But when it's on a CIA document, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, hang on a minute. This is really interesting. And it is. I mean, look at it. Let me read it out. It says, to reduce pain signals, look with your closed eyes at that part of your body which is the source of pain signals. As you look, repeat in your mind the number 55515. When you do these two things, the pain signals will slowly reduce until they are no longer important. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it? What's the significance of 55515? I'm going to do it, though, next time I have a headache.
Oh, man, that's crazy. So they got CIA documents talking about you can repeat numbers in your head, repeat the numbers, and you can reduce pain that you're having. That goes to show, man, like the mind is a powerful thing, and they hiding a lot. Like I'm trying to tell y'all, if y'all go check out the site, it's a whole bunch that they hiding, man. They hiding a lot. Our minds are powerful, but we just don't know how powerful they are because they don't want us to know about these powers and everything. They've been hiding this shit and deceiving us our whole life, y'all. This shit crazy. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Everybody make sure you hit that like button.
Oh my days. So you want to understand more about Tartaria and the last reset? That's good. That's real good. Alright, listen to this. The mystery that sparked the search. What intrigued the internet was a declassified document by the CIA which mentions the deletion of this country's history, which seems to have been located in the land of modern Russia, Siberia and Asia. And this is the official declassified CIA document. You can take a screenshot and read it for yourself, but I'ma start halfway down. In other words, Tartar history was to be rewritten, let us be frank, was to be falsified in order to eliminate reference to the Great Russian aggression and to hide the fact of the real cause of Tartar-Russian relations. And this was no isolated case. In every Muslim area within the USSR, historians on orders of the Communist Party have rewritten history to distort the facts so that the Russians appear always in good light. Needless to say, historians which present the facts truthfully have been withdrawn and destroyed, so that the present and future generations of Muslims are forever denied the chance of learning their true facts of their nation's past. Oh my diddy.
Did he say, oh my diddy? Oh, man. That's crazy, man. Let's keep it going, y'all. Let's keep it going. It's so much, man. It's so much. Let's keep it going. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all.
Over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalists, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach. What you see
here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide.
Man, that's how you know Bill Gates powerful. He was briefing the CIA. And I think they talking about what happened a few years ago, y'all. You know, when we had the thing going on where, you know, we had to wear the mask and all that type of stuff. I think he was talking about it way back then. You feel me?
Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether there's a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan.
This motherfucker Bill Gates, he the only person I know that got his hand into everything. How he got like how is he briefing? How is he briefing the CIA on this type of stuff and everything? Like, you ain't like, I don't understand. Like, his hand into everything. I'm talking about everything, y'all. That motherfucker into everything. Real estate, farming, computers, brain shit. Like, how you get certified for all this shit, BG? Like, this shit crazy.
The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this?
Wow. They was trying to do some
Well,
blue.
so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
And you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support the development of this project, and we think it has great promise.
I read the 30-page declassified CIA document about the gateway process, and this document proves you can alter your state of consciousness to transcend the time-space dimension, allowing you to do things like lucid dream, astral travel, and manifest your desired reality. It's dense with high-level physics and biology content, but I'm going to try to summarize it for you in the simplest terms I can. It starts by outlining the 3 techniques you can use for expanding your consciousness, which are hypnosis, transcendental meditation, and biofeedback, which is the same thing as visualization. Basically, what these 3 techniques do are either suppress, bypass, or manipulate the left hemisphere of the brain, and the left hemisphere is involved in analytical thinking, so that you can sync the left and right hemispheres where they're in the same frequency and amplitude of waves that they're putting out. What this does is it moves your consciousness outside the physical sphere, so eventually you can surpass the restrictions of time and space, and by doing this you will gain access to intuitive knowledge which the universe offers. Basically what you're doing here is focusing your attention so much that it's like a laser, and they liken it to a laser here, where there's so much energy going into this one focused point that you can transcend your consciousness out of the physical plane. The way that the gateway process achieves this hemisync state is you listen to a set of tapes that are playing certain beats or frequencies of sounds, and so the next part of the paper goes on to explain how this works.
Man, and this is CIA declassified document, y'all, so right in front of our face.
It then goes on to describe how consciousness functions in the human mind. And the first point which they make is matter and energy are the same thing. There's no such thing as physical matter versus non-physical matter like sound or light waves. It's all the same. It's all energy made up of atoms vibrating at a certain frequency. And it finishes by saying how human consciousness, human being, the brain, they're all the same. It's just an extraordinary complex system of energy fields. And so the so-called states of matter are actually variances in the state of energy, and human consciousness is a function of the interaction in energy in 2 opposite states, which is motion versus rest. This is getting pretty long, but I'm going to make a part 2 where I'll go over holograms, the consciousness matrix, Big Bang, out-of-body experiences. So look for part 2 if you want to hear more.
Proof that God is real by a declassified FBI document. Their mission is peaceful. These visitors are human-like but much larger. They are not excrement Earth people, meaning they do not have human flesh. They are not of the flesh. And Ephesians 6:12, which is in the Bible, says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms," which is where they come from. But they come from their own world. They do not come from any planet as we would use the word, but from another world. A planet which interpenetrates, which that word interpenetrate means to merge with. And later it says with our own world, and it is not perceivable to us. So what does that mean? It's spiritual forces. And as we read here in Galatians 12, it says its tail swiped a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth. And the stars represents the fallen angels. Because later in verse 7, it says, then the war broke out in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven, and the great dragon was hurled down, and that ancient serpent, which was in Genesis, called the devil or Satan, who led the whole world astray, he was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. A thorough video will be coming out on my YouTube, so stay subscribed and stay tuned. Be blessed.
Hey, y'all. Man, these CIA declassified documents is crazy. Crazy. And I seen another video. They wouldn't let me download it, but the CIA got a document saying that, like, all religions are, now I ain't saying God or, you know, whatever gods you worship or whatever. I ain't saying the gods or nothing, but that they said religion was created, was man-made, like created by them. I ain't gonna say them, but whatever, to basically divide everyone and separate everyone and everything. Religions. That's what I'm saying. You feel me? But I don't know, y'all. It's a lot of documents. Y'all gotta go check and do your own research. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy. You go down a long rabbit hole looking at some of that stuff, because it's a lot more that I ain't even touch on this, because we touch everything at one time, and some stuff we just can't really speak on. You feel what I'm saying? We can't speak on because y'all know they censoring shit. Can't say what we want to say, and we got to say everything is allegedly. It's all entertainment purposes only, y'all. But I appreciate everybody who tapped in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Much love to all my moderators. Much love to the chat. Much love to JB, man. I appreciate that super chat, fam. I see y'all had got into a little something in the chat. It's all good, y'all. It's all love. I don't be tripping and everything, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So everybody be smooth, be cool. Stay on wave, y'all. Stay woke. Stay vibrating in those high frequencies. You feel me? And just, man, like I said, one day, man, everybody gonna wake up like, man, fuck that. And we just got to come together and just be like, hey, we got the numbers. We got to control shit now. But I'll see y'all later, everybody. Have a great day. I'll be streaming soon. See y'all in a minute, man. Much love to everybody. Peace.
Fam over.